Are the Joby Gorillapods great tripods for vlogging? For you? First I need some coffee, and then we'll get into this Gorillapod business. Got my coffee. Gonna head back to the office. Let's talk about this Gorillapod thing. Joby Gorillapods are kind of a staple in vlogging and YouTube videos. So many people use them and they've been using them for years. There's a good ability to hold it. It really has a nice, comfortable grip. One of the issues that I found using these Gorillapods. Now this isn't a Joby Gorillapod. This is a Sabine, I think, Gorillapod. It's a generic one from Amazon. It's about 1/3 the cost. I think this was like $9 plus the little ball head that I got afterwards to put on. After I got that, I had that for a while and it was good, but I kind of, some of the issues with these Gorillapods is that they kind of, these points just pop off and they start to get weak. So I was like, all right, well, that's because it's a generic one. It's a knockoff of the original. So I said, oh, well, let me get the original. And so I got a smaller version. Now before I was only vlogging with the Canon G7x, and it was kind of perfect for this, and you didn't need a really big one. There's a much bigger version of the Joby Gorillapod that's the round bits are made out of aluminum, which is definitely more robust, but it's also much bigger, and I'm not carrying around a DSLR camera with a big old microphone on it running around the city. That's just not the way I want to do it. That's not what I'm interested in. So this one kind of suited my needs, and I was like, oh, it's good. It's, it really is a bit firmer and it works really well and it holds things up. The one problem I have with this, different people like different things. This has a quick release system, which is fine. If you have a quick release system on your setups, it's cool. You can use it. You can just clip off your camera and, you screw this onto the bottom of your camera and then you're off and to the races. But the issue I have is that the different tripods that I have all have different quick releases. So I was constantly taking this off and spinning it off of my camera and then putting it onto a different tripod or putting it onto this or taking it off to put it on the floor because this thing is tiny so it doesn't hold the camera properly. So that was one of the things that I wasn't so excited about. Another thing is that these Gorillapods just tend to get very, very loose after a while. And if you're trusting this like I was doing and hanging this off of, the Brooklyn Bridge and putting it on to the, the railings of the Brooklyn Bridge and having your camera sit there for 15-20 minutes to take a really nice long time lapse, sometimes this would just start to slope down or it just wouldn't stay. Sometimes these things just pop off. They just pop off, and once they pop off, it kind of cracks the one that it was seated in, and then you of course put it back in, but now that's just that much weaker. So it's a fantastic idea, but it hasn't really been perfected yet. I think there's other and better options. I saw online that there's a guy who made this out of machined aluminum, with each piece being machined together so that they would never, if they get loose, you can just tighten them up, and because of the way they're put together, they would never come apart. But he didn't really go into full manufacturing of it, so it's not really available. I would love to pick one of those up. Now, this little one This is also a Joby Gorillapod, but it's really for GoPros and iPhones and, you know, just cell phones and stuff like that. I use this one all the time for my GoPro. What I really like about this one is that the feet are magnetic. So when you put this on something, if it's metal, it stays a hell of a lot better because it's magnetized to the metal, which I find a lot of things in New York City are metal that I'm putting this on. And for the cell phone, the little cell phone adapter, which I have a number of them, it's fantastic. You put this on there, you set your cell phone out and you set it to time-lapse mode and you just let it run. Or if you're, you know, a lot of times when I'm shooting the vlog and shooting these videos, I'm shooting multiple cameras at the same time. So I have one camera over here set up so that I could, you know, be filming myself from 3 different angles and get all 3 shots all in one take. So it doesn't take me back and forth and back and forth and back and forth doing it all with one camera. So this little one I really like, and I actually have 2 of them. It does have a lot of the same issues, but for some reason, because it's smaller and it's not holding the same weight, it's not that big of a deal. But these bigger ones, you know, I mean, I still have them, and obviously I have a number of them. It's just one of those things. I mean, I think I paid $39, $49 for this. I think it maybe even more. That's a lot of money for something that just after a few months just kind of starts to break up. Not necessarily worthwhile. Now, the generic one that I got from Amazon, pretty good. I mean, it was definitely better than I thought. I think it really lasted pretty well, and I still use this from time to time. I'm just finding different ways to deal with setting up my camera in different places. So I've been looking into other options. Is the Gorillapod a necessity for vlogging and for doing things on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, if you really have to set this up and put this around a tree or a pole or something, you know, I wouldn't trust my $1,000 camera that this is gonna stay up and really hold it. Now, the bigger one, maybe that's bigger and better, but it's just one of those things. I'm not so confident, and I don't wanna carry around a big setup. I'm already carrying around a ton of stuff. To do these vlogs, I really don't wanna carry around another big piece that I'm only gonna use every once in a while. Most of the time I'm setting it up on flat surfaces. So if you think ahead, you can set it up on flat surfaces. Would I recommend that you buy a Joby Gorillapod? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I would go with the unbranded Amazon one. I think that's a good start. You know, get the extra ball head and then you can just screw your camera on and off, and that's really convenient. This one's half the money, and if you really love the way this works and that you can hold it out and really kind of get a sense of how distant you are from the camera, well then, you know, maybe it's a good option for you. I just upgraded my camera to the Canon M6 with an 11-22. So with an 11-22, I can get a lot more of the world. So I can handhold it and still get a lot of the world and my head in the single shot without having to have a tripod on it. And that is kind of convenient, especially for walking through New York City. I do have another tripod that I'm testing right now that I got with the M6. It's the Manfrotto Pixie Evo. That thing is pretty interesting. This is the Manfrotto Pixie Evo. And it is pretty cool. What I like about it is that you can fold up these legs nice and small, and so you can get it longer and better. One of the things is nice that you can use it like a Gorillapod. If you bend it back a little bit, you can definitely get further away with this. It's, you know, relatively light. It's relatively small. It has just a screw top. Oh, one of the other things that's really nice, so you can go out about this far. But say if you're getting something really flat, you can, there's a button here, and you can get these really flat. See how flat that is? So you can really get this flat and get those low shots and really kind of get those low angles, clouds or time lapses for shooting myself going by from a low angle. Definitely is a nice little piece. It's not cheap, I don't remember the price of the Evo Pixie. I'll put links down in the description for all these different tripods if you're interested in them. I would test out, I would go to a camera store and test out different types of tripods for your vlogging setup, because different tripods will suit different people's needs. And if you're a running gunner, if you're going through the city, or if you're in the country, or if you're doing this or doing that, depending on what type of camera. Some people use the heavy DSLRs, and you're gonna need something that's a little bit stronger than a little Joby. So maybe the bigger Joby works. Maybe there's a bunch of different options. I'd love to know what you think and what type of tripods that you're using for your YouTube videos, and especially for your vlogs if you're vlogging around town. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of tripods you're using, and if you've used the Joby, let me know if you like it or not. I don't know if I would buy it again. I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. This is a game of growth and figuring things out, and we're all trying to experiment, so maybe we can collectively get the greatest tripod ever made. Smash that like button if you like this video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe down below and hit that bell notification so you don't miss these new videos that I've been putting up. Every Friday I'm going to try to review pieces of equipment that I've been using for the last 9 months, and some of the new equipment that I've been testing out. I'm also going to start doing tutorials in Photoshop and retouching, and maybe even some After Effects and Premiere. Just some things that I've learned so that we can help each other out in getting better at YouTube. Have a good night.